Well, hello, welcome to Drawing with Fire. I'm Valerie, your neighborhood pyrography artist, and this is your home of burning and learning. I'm joined with hubby.
Yep.
And today we are picking up where we left off last night, and we're burning some stone. And I just realized I didn't have my pin on. Oops. So we're going to burn some more stone. I tried to block in a little bit more this morning. I have noticed that right now my column because of how I shaded so far, my column looks like it's a little off. So I'm going to have to use shading to kind of shift it back up. Granted, we still have a lot to put in still. But that kind of, my lines, that's what's doing it, is my lines. So if I actually kind of, let me find a straight edge of some kind. I'll grab this. If I kind of shift my line a little bit, because right here it looks like this, but if I shift my line down a little bit like this, it will straighten this out. It's the perspective of the line that is doing it. Hey, Burl, Spence, Moritz, Teresa. Got it? Yep. Alrighty. So I think I've got my spoon shader, my large, set on 3, and I think we're actually going to work a little bit in here just so we can start moving over. I did block in some rocks here that go along with this. We do, oh no, it's my spear shader, my small spear shader, and I need a photo so I can see where things are at. Alrighty, so right here, do I need to zoom in, or is it because we're doing the rocks? I'm okay.
I think you're okay.
The camera is right at my face. And thanks to you from a few minutes ago, got a bit of accent coming out. Doesn't take much. Alright, so 3, and I'm just dragging down, and then I'm kind of going oval to blend in a little bit and smooth it out. So this is the shelf. The wall right here is underneath this outcrop. And so the shadow is what really gives us that feeling. Plus at the top we have some snow. The more I've been burning on this poplar, the more I'm not quite impressed with it. And for things that I really want detailed, I don't think I'll be using this again. I'm just not liking how it's burning. And that's totally normal. What somebody might like to burn on, you may not like. Doesn't mean you're wrong. Doesn't mean they're wrong. Just we all burn a little differently. And granted, this wood didn't cost a whole lot of money. It does kind of feel like cheap wood. I don't like saying that, but it does. Hey, Sheila. You didn't do your job.
Chat's not moving for me.
Oh, restart the camera.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Ed Payne also.
I'm sorry. Hey, Ed.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to actually zoom in a little bit because the camera's right in my face. It's a little annoying.
Yeah, you can zoom in a little bit.
There we go. And then I'm going to scoot up and still have the camera in my face. Alrighty, so I'm just using the tip of the pen. And right here I'm doing ovals. So I'm doing ovals like this, but I'm dragging down along the grain. And that's how I'm trying to blend in. So it's not only how your pen is going back and forth this way, it's also moving up and down. Think of it as chewing gum and walking.
Well,
and if you trip,
that's it for me.
You have a problem doing that?
Chewing gum and walking?
Mm-hmm.
No, but if you had like a third thing in there, I have to stop doing one of the other two.
Alright. I hate when they do that. Alrighty, so we got some shading at the bottom of this outcrop, so let's get that. What I'm doing is going up, touching down in the area I've already burned and dragging it up. And we got some here. I didn't put in all of my lines for this wall because I figured I could just block them in as I go. And if they look a little off, nobody's going to know. So I'm not stressing about it. Get that in there. And cracks change in darkness based on how deep they are. Because in where they're deep, that's less light hitting it. And then lighter where it's not as deep and closer to the light.
So Ed says he's trying to figure this out. I guess what we would need to know from Ed, or what you would need to know, not me, but is are you just starting out, Ed? Do you have a burner, or what are you trying to accomplish?
What he said.
Yep, all that stuff.
Let's see here. We got a bit overhang here.
Sorry, a space that we had a broadcast today, Moritz. Sorry about that. Has a updated picture of him. He's grown his hair out over the last 2 years.
Oh.
Yeah, he looks like a Viking. Actually, he looks like one of the riders of Rohan.
Now, one day maybe we should do fan art of Lord of the Rings. So I'm just tapping in. Some are drag, some are tap. I'm just kind of blocking this in. And not being overly particular. Like this crack right here is really light because it's not a deep crack. But it's going to be darker than the actual stone. Because this is light stone. And I just notice this is down here. We got shadow. And I also need to go in the direction of the wall. So not only am I pulling down, I got a crack right there. And I am just blocking in so that I can get rid of graphite and wipe down. So things are going to go darker. Lots darker. In fact, we can drag.
Yes, they've taken the Hobbits to Isengard, Moritz. Oh my god.
Alright.
They made a song of that. And Corinne could not stop watching for a little while.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. My brain is like focused. Alright, so this part, because this stone is curving under, or I should go this way, curving under, the bottom part of that curve is going to be darker, and then it lightens up. We do have some texture in here, so let's get some texture in.
Amy S. is here.
Hey, Amy. This part is darker on top. Like I said, we have some snow, so we need to make sure we leave some unburned areas to get the snow in there. In fact, what I can do is take my General Charcoal White, and we're just going to put some white in so I know where it's at.
So Ed is new to both live chat and burning.
Oh, okay.
He has used the Detail Master for wood carving.
That's an old burner.
And he has a Super Pro too.
Oh.
That's what he's got.
I know. That's why I'm not saying anything further. Not saying anything further. So what exactly are you trying to figure out? Burning overall or certain techniques? There we go. Well, I should have done that after I erased. I've been trying to erase, and I'm not liking how this poplar does not want to give up the graphite.
I just said, interesting.
Yeah, I'm not liking it. And I put in an email this morning to the MyScape company that has They claim it's graphite paper, but that it wipes off with water. So I sent them an email with a bunch of questions. Hopefully they get back to me relatively quickly. Because I believe it's Choco paper, which is fine. Just need to know what the pigments are made out of for the multicolor pack. What kind of pigment?
Multi-pack.
Multi-pack. Alright, so just tapping in some squigglies. I can go back and darken up areas. Again, we're not going to stress over. As long as it looks like stone, that's all that matters. And think of it this way, when your cracks are different than the other cracks, than my cracks, this sounds really bad.
I wonder if you're going to pick up on that.
No, I
Of course
did.
you do.
It's not like I'm intentionally trying to say it. Like that. Go darker here.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Like, even when I'm doing portraiture, like, there's some things that you have to nail exactly. You know, but other things, you know, other details aren't nearly as important.
As long as the amount of detail and time that you spent in the subject, you spend it on the background. If things aren't exactly right, it will still look right. So you just need to spend that time. Now, if I did, you know, really fast burning on the background and then spent all this time on the dragon, you would tell the difference and it wouldn't look right. Even though people wouldn't know why, it just wouldn't feel right because you've kind of thrown it off.
Well,
it's getting dirty.
In any art form, it's the same. You know, you can have an abstract background, but you have to have the same amount of care that you have in your subject. If you just throw some paint on and then do a super detailed subject, it looks weird.
Alright, I'm switching over to the spoon shader. This poplar gets my tips dirty quick.
You don't normally have a problem with
that. I very rarely ever have an issue with this, but I have been having an issue with this board.
Kim McCann is here.
Hey, Kim. So, I'm going to switch pens, which is fine because I'm blending anyway. So this is the spoon shader, and I'm still set at 2.5. Now I clean this pen, but I kind of feel off. Unless it's on the board. Maybe on the board. I have noticed, though, thankfully, that when the tip leaves carbon, like burned carbon, it erases, just like a pencil. So it's not altering the color. It feels like it's the wood. Alright. You see, we're not going to see so much light down here. So we can actually go darker. And we'll kind of move it around. Give it some texture. This is just blocking in. I'll go back and detail out later. But hopefully we can move on quickly.
Yes, Moritz, I will be on tomorrow.
So like this line, I'm a little off on my lines here. I don't care. As long as you guys don't tell anybody, we're cool.
I don't say nothing.
Yeah, see, that's a piece of carbon right there. I clean this tip. Alright, clean both these tips really good for a minute because...
You know it's good when the art that you're creating makes you want to play Skyrim.
Are you wanting to play Skyrim?
Seeing this dragon, yeah.
Oh, yeah? Let's sit down for a minute because I'm going to have to clean those tips. Alright, so I already have aluminum oxide on my board. This tip is already cool. So this is a leather strop and powdered aluminum oxide. I get a little bit on my tip and then wipe it off. Check my tip, there's still a little bit on. I have noticed, though, I can use, if it's being stubborn, I can use the canning wax to take the rest off.
So what's the go-to?
For cleaning?
Like, do you start with canning wax or do you start with the...
I'll start with wiping, and then if it's stubborn, I'll do the... butt my pen up to 10 and do the canning wax real quick.
Okay.
And then go back to... and burn off the wax, and then go back to the strop, and everything comes right off then. But never sandpaper, never a Dremel or rotary tool, tea strainer. I'm trying to think what else people use.
Basically anything
abrasive. Mm-hmm. Regardless of the burner you're using. Yep. Alrighty. Yep, it's a clean. And the canning wax will pull the black that's on this canning wax right here. That's carbon that's pulled off a pin. I just have it laying next to me, and I can just, because I'm not melting the whole thing, I'm just tapping into the wax very quickly. I don't have to worry about wax getting everywhere. It puddles and cools very quickly on the top. Alright, we are going to move over to...
I suppose it goes without saying that make sure that your pen is off and cool for that.
For the strop, yes. For the canning wax.
Since you're putting your fingers all over it.
Well, I wouldn't have touched it like that.
I know.
For the canning wax, you actually need your pen cherry red. Alright, I think we're going to block in. We have a shape right here where the stone is actually coming up. So there's going to be more shading on this side, and it's rounded. And if you notice, the lines are curved, and that's because it is rounded. The lines aren't going to be straight. Again, I do need to fix those. I'll do it later. But we have to follow this main V here, but then we have to make sure we're shading following the direction of the stone and the lines. So, and this is a lighter photo so that I can see the details. And then I'll go off my darker sepia photo to darken everything. Alrighty. So, that was on 3. Now I'm on 3. Alright, so in the pattern, I've got a dark line here. So let's get that in here. Make sure we follow the direction so that I don't get off again. My transfer may be a little off. I was in a hurry to transfer it. And drag down. Well, in order to help Ed, I really need to know some of your questions.
Okay. Ed's questions or just chat in general?
Well, both.
Oh.
Whoever has questions.
Oh, Ed says he's trying to learn this as art now.
Right here we have a dark that I'm following. Learn it as art.
And he used to be a detail master dealer for a couple years. But he lost his a couple years ago in a move.
No, detailer's not even made anymore.
Really?
The Burn Master is very similar. Considering I don't care for that one. Alright,
just to remind chat, I think most everybody here knows, you have tried out most all the burners, and is your review up on all of them?
No, I gotta.
Don't you have one though? Don't you have a comparison video?
Working on it.
Oh.
I have an old one.
Okay, so there's an old comparison video up if you want to check that out. But Val has
spent lots of money.
Yeah, she's not sponsored by anybody, but she's tried out most of the burners. So
yeah, Peter Childs and Detail Master, since they're not available anymore, and True Art, which is just they've got Chinese knockoffs like the Tech Check, which I have.
Those are the ones that you don't have.
Most of the Chinese knockoffs and Detail Master.
But as far as like what razor tip and
Well, I don't have it anymore. Give it away.
well, I know. What's the other one?
Coldwood, nibs burner.
Yeah, nibs burner. Used to be a big fan of nibs burner.
Well, that was my first burner for 10 years. All right, I'm trying to get this in. We got some darks in here.
Yes, Spence. Optima. Optima.
Well, it makes a difference.
It really does, you know. And like speaking generically, you know, like you can create art with all kinds of different tools.
Oh, yeah.
The nicer that, well, I'll say nicer.
The more connected you are.
Well, the more connected you are with your tools, then the better that you'll be off, and then also the more reliable that your tools are, the better off you are. Because like I can create paintings with, well, I can create it with my fingers if I wanted to, but having a brush that does a good job and retains its form makes things a whole lot easier for me.
All right, so this is curved right here as well. So I'm doing ovals and going back and forth across the grain in the direction of the stone. And then because it's going back and forth, we're also going to have a darker shadow along the base here.
It says he doesn't have any questions in general. He's just watching videos and trying to learn for now.
Your best way to learn is to do it and mess up. Mess up gloriously. That's not a word.
Gloriously.
Gloriously, that's the word I wanted.
See, I'm not walking or chewing gum.
Okay, but I'm burning, talking, and trying to think.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Trying to think. Let's get this line in here.
My job is to keep my mental facilities free so I can elucidate those deep thoughts for you. However, if I try and multitask, like say I pick up my phone.
We're all in trouble.
And now I just speak
darker than I wanted.
And I can say words.
Alright, let's get some of the shadow line in. So I don't want to outline. So I'm negative burning up against the line. And I'm going lighter. And then I can go back, erase. And then darken that area. Let's see here. We have a line crack that comes down here. I'm going to use the edge. Oh, just so you know, Ed, though, you can use Optima pens on a Coldwood. Just saying. Just saying. Alright. So we got light here. And this is curved as well. And we can tell by the texture that it's curved. There's the texture of the rock and the shading is showing us that all this area is curved out. Let's see here. I lifted my pen for too long. So I'm going to touch down where I've already burned. It's going to be darker. And I'm going to burn out and in that direction. And see, I'm not doing a very smooth job, but this stone is not very smooth. So we've got a lot of texture in it.
So Ed has a question. Are the tips supposed to be sharp on the working edge?
Depends on what which tip it is.
And also, if by you mean sharp, like they're not like cut paper sharp.
Some of them can, depending on what the tip is.
But they are pretty thin.
For Optima or in general?
Oh, for Optima.
It does depend on the tip. Sharp. I'm looking around at the tips, other than ball tips.
Well, you don't want it too sharp. You wouldn't want a knife blade on there because
that's what skewers for. But I can get right up against and get a sharp line.
Yeah.
So yes, it is a very smooth. I'm not going to cut myself with it sharp, but it is a very angled edge. I guess that would be the best way to put it. Because I'm using it in a different way. Like if I use tip. I'm thinking. Brain is thinking how to explain things. These curves. It's not sharp to cut, but it is sharp for burning. So if I angle, I can get a sharp line with pretty much all of my pins. The smaller the pin, the sharper it is going to be. Let's see, here we go. That here. That is a dark here. So that puts this dark here. Like I said, I didn't transfer all the lines, so I'm having to go off the landmarks in order to find things. So this is a dark. Goes over. A lot of negative burning to put some of these shapes in. We have a really light here. And my photo is, let's see here. My photo is a little bit bigger than my layout. I had a line there that I didn't transfer because I couldn't see it in the other photo. So we're just going to quickly put it in so I don't lose it. There we go.
And when you're doing negative burning, you're burning around and you're retaining the lighter part just like you would in watercolors, right?
Yes. Excuse me. Yes, I'm trying to preserve the lighter. No, yeah, with the dark. I'm preserving the light with the dark.
Teresa has to leave.
Hi, Teresa.
Bye, Teresa.
Keep burning your dragon. She's doing one on paper.
Oh.
I went really dark on that. Let's get this over.
Windy.
Yeah, we've got an alert.
Oh, we do?
Yeah. See,
this
poplar. My tip should not already be dirty. And so we're switching over so I can keep going.
Yeah, I'd have to say I'm not used to seeing you clean the tips because you usually don't have to.
Very rarely.
Rarely.
Yeah, if I'm burning a lot of darks, I do, but this is not considered a lot of dark.
So Ed says, okay, I understand which tips to keep sharp, but had not saw any videos where sharpening had been covered. Well, you don't really need to...
You don't need to sharpen them.
You don't ever need to sharpen your tips. That, I would say, if you're...
The strop should keep the edges tight.
Yeah.
And sharp, but not...
And, really, I don't think if you're applying so much heat that you're deforming the tips, then that's a problem. So.
Oops, I got my line off. This goes down like this. And then it goes, let's see here, it goes out like this. There we go. Get graphite here. Get rid of it. Yeah, when you're using the strop, it naturally keeps the pen sharp in the way it needs to be sharp.
If you
you're not sharpening it like a knife.
If you're familiar with like ink pen nibs, the burning tips, they're very similar. So you don't sharpen ink tip nibs either, but you do have to keep them clean, and I think that's a good comparison.
Just realized
they're very similar.
Yeah, this stone back here and back here goes with this stone. So I use trying. In fact, that wall goes down where? Right here. Maybe I should have transferred just a little bit more lines so that we could go faster. But this, if you lose your lines or you get lost, I guess this is a good example of using the landscape of the photo. What I mean by landmarks, not landscape, landmarks of the photo, to get back on track of where you're at. What I mean by that, like right here, we have this little alcove thing that comes out right here. And if I pay attention and look, the corner here of this, if I go up, it gives me this dark right here that I can go ahead and put in just the tip. And then I can kind of follow along, especially if I lose the lines. I can use different aspects of my photo to get back on track. And sometimes I have to fix mistakes because I really got off.
And that's where those like basic applied drawing skills come in handy.
Yeah, don't just watch wood burning videos, watch drawing videos as well. Because that will help you feel more confident in areas to shade.
Spence says he's always losing his lines.
Well, you're watching me do it right now. This is the outside. Because for some reason I got all wonky right up in here. And this line's supposed to be straighter. Don't know what I was thinking.
It's okay though.
I'm not going to stress about it. It's not like you guys are going to tell anybody I screwed up.
I won't tell anybody.
I don't care about screwing up. I used to stress about it. I don't anymore. Now, if it's on framing or varnish, when I've already done all the work, that's a little different.
Yeah. So, especially when you're dealing with, like, details that are not so crucial, that would be, well, I can't really say what Bob would say, but I could say it's an amicable discrepancy.
Okay.
Right? Huh?
Okay.
So, just roll with it.
This line's higher.
I wonder if sometimes people are tuning in, they're like, who's this guy? He's the one burning. Why is he talking about this? I'm an artist too, but I don't do wood burning. Yeah. Except when it's comedic, when we're doing Christmas ornaments or something. It's not my main art form. She's the one that does the burning. But I'm familiar with it because I've watched you do it for years. So I'm familiar with the technical aspects of it.
Part of me is tempted to redo this whole piece before I go any further.
Redo it? No.
On a different piece of wood. I'm just not liking this wood.
Really? I think it looks great. Kat, what do you think?
The fact that I already need to clean this pen at 3 is
Okay.
freaking ridiculous. Well, I should not have to.
It's not a perfect world.
No.
I think it looks so good though. I wouldn't start over.
But I could do better.
That's okay. We'll
see, from a distance it doesn't look bad, but when I'm looking close at it, it does have.
Plus, you're the artist, so you see all the amicable discrepancies.
But the fact that I already have to clean my tip is ridiculous.
So
actually, I'm gonna
clearly Val's not used to cleaning her tips so often. Otherwise, she would be bitching so much about it.
Well, and it's a legitimate bitch. It's not Optima's fault on this case. I'm just gonna switch over to the medium 18.
Spence says it looks awesome. I agree, Spence. So Ed says a detail master instruction said to sharpen and keep your edges very sharp. So I guess the tips now come already as sharp as you need to be. Correct.
Not with cold wood.
Okay. But with the Optima, yes.
Yes. Cold wood, you have to pay extra for the...
Well, no, that's polishing. Not
yeah, but when they polish, it also sharpens the edges.
Oh, okay. Amy says it looks good.
Thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
I agree. You're being far too critical, as per usual.
I know.
Just finish this piece. It's going to look awesome. And then if you want to do another one, I would say do it larger.
Oh, I definitely would do this one larger again. And I did it small in order to get this done with everybody else.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's see if the 18 large is going to work out a little bit better. And now this tip is kind of angled up. It kind of goes up a little bit. So I'm using just the tip.
And I'm just reminding you we're at 11:35.
Alrighty, see, these 30-minute lives go by quick.
I know, but we get a lot done.
Did I? Did I get a lot done?
Yeah, you did. But you know what? Like we said, it's not a sprint. It's an egg and spoon race.
I know. Well, let's have any of our final questions.
Yeah, Burl says, if you scrap it, can I have it?
No, you get to do your own.
Spence says, but yeah, I'd definitely be frustrated if I had to clean the tips so much.
Actually, I may send this one to Burl. I don't know. I owe her.
Lucky.
Well, I was going to give it to Cole, but he has other things going on.
Oh, that's right.
And I owe Burl the burning.
Okay.
Because of Morgan the Raven.
Yes.
So, I've been trying to... I haven't forgotten, Burl. I've just been trying to figure out what to burn for you.
Well, I think it looks fantastic.
I don't know. I just feel it could be better.
Spence says, you can't skip ahead of me. Burl says, aw. For those of you who don't know, Valerie is extremely exacting. She makes most perfectionists look sloppy.
No. They're not any more sloppier than me.
I don't think so.
That's why they're perfectionists too. Alright, what I'm doing is undercutting and getting in this, I don't know what you'd call it. It's not quite a statue, but it's just part of the carving of the wall.
It looks like a,
So I'm tapping in. I know it looks small. There's very small strokes, so it looks like I'm outlining, but I'm not. I'm actually dragging the pen across very quickly.
If it helps, it looks like it's part of a Nordrone.
Yeah. No, I think this is part of the...
Oh, I see what you're working on.
Yeah, it's the outcropping.
Yeah, so...
I guess that's the best thing to call it.
Yep.
See, we got snow right here.
How are you going to deal with the snow? Are you just going to leave it light, or are you going to add in white?
I'll probably add white.
Okay.
Yeah, in order to really be able to tell the difference. Let's see here. See, if I put the white with the snow, it really helps the burning pop out and differentiate it from other areas. Let's see here.
Amy says, if you mess up, just create happy snow on the rocks. Well, we could say amicable snow.
I always screw up, guys. Screwing up.
No, you're giving away your secrets.
No,
she never screws up.
I always screw up. In fact, after the live, because I've been talking and trying to shift my focus back and forth, after the live, I will go back and I will find a bunch of areas that I screwed up on and had to fix. That's what I...
This is true, and then I have to hear about it.
No. Don't tell them that. I throw my fits in private, thank you.
Sometimes they escape. Burl says, why not, Spence? That's what I need. Pressure to do something. I work best under a deadline. That's what you say.
Good idea.
Ed says, thank you for the advice on continue making terrible looking projects and know it takes a lot of practicing to get better.
It does, but take your time, stop outlining, and you will see a big difference. See, on camera, it don't look so bad.
It looks...
But up close, I know, you tell me every freaking
the
time. No, it doesn't. The light is hitting it. In fact, turn this off. We're going to be a little dark. Ooh, my eyes.
But the technical proficiency is the same whether it's on or off camera.
Okay, but I'm looking at how the burn looks. The texture of the burn.
I'm looking at how it looks too.
Yes, absolutely. Keep your first ones, Ed, because in 6 months, I say go back and try one of them again and see how much growth you've actually had, because it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot.
And also remember that all art has an ugly stage, so maybe just
for 3/4 of the time
persevere and push through that stage, and know that you're working towards something.
Changing the angle because on camera I can see what it's not so bad.
It's the same.
No, it's not the same.
It's the same. I'm looking at
because
it.
On camera you can't see where the wood grain has raised.
I'm looking at it here, and I'm looking at here,
and I'm throwing it around here,
and it's the same.
Down to here.
It's the same.
So next week,
it's the same.
And I just realized
it's the same.
I did not.
It's still the same.
Oh, stop it. I realized I didn't put my sepia on. There we go. I forgot. Next week, we are going to start Monday night. We are going to start working with the fog and the trees down in this corner. So you can see it a little bit there. We're going to start working on here.
Oh, that should be fun.
And, yeah, this is going to be quite interesting, working out the fog and making sure things look swirled, and yeah, this is going to be fun and interesting, I think. And that's why with the line art, which I don't have those, I just did squigglies up and down, and then marked out where some of the darker ones were. This is the lightest part in here. This is going to be a lot of blending, lower temperatures. And I'm probably going to be going between the spear shaders and probably the medium and small ball spear shader or spoon shader. That. And then this will allow us to decide how dark or light the wing area needs to go. This is darker here. It is darker here. It's lighter here. Darker here, which will make the wing pop out at us. So, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new. And I think Ed's been trying to join the group, maybe, but he hasn't answered the question, so it's going to keep denying him until he answers the question. Unless I catch it before then.
Spence wants to know what size that is.
This is an 8x10.
Okay.
I did it so that once it was done, I could just pop it in the frame. I don't even necessarily, not sure if I'm going to have to mat it or not. The tail is closer to the edge than I would like. I'd like it to be over, but I didn't want to go any smaller with the dragon. So that's why I didn't. So we'll do that next week, starting Monday night and Tuesday. And then all we've got is the mountain background here. And darkening up a lot, and we're done.
So just to reiterate, please like, subscribe,
comment,
please. It helps us out a lot.
Yeah, YouTube will tell other people, hey, come watch, because other people like. And don't forget, this is the most important thing.
Okay.
You are awesome.
I know.
You can do this.
I know.
You're a pyro artist.
Wait, what?
Happy burning, guys. Watch the playlist from the dragon. And if you haven't started, jump in with us. Happy burning and lighting, guys. See you next week. Which button? That button.